Welcome to the deep dive. We're your shortcut to understanding, well, pretty complex topics. We sift through the sources so you don't have to.
Yeah, we basically distill it all down to what you really need to know.
Exactly. And today, we are zeroing in on something brand new, just out this May. It's a report called Artificial Capable Intelligence, ACI 2025, the 2025 Landscape of Practical AI. It's published by Fede Nolasco.
Right, and this report, it's super relevant right now, especially if you're, say, a business leader trying to figure out your AI strategy, how to actually use it, not just talk about it.
So moving beyond the hype phase.
Totally. Or
Yeah.
maybe you're an investor looking for solid opportunities in practical AI. This points to where the real world action is happening.
Okay.
And honestly, even if you're just curious about how AI is actually starting to show up in useful ways, this deep dive should get you up to speed.
So give us the headline then. What's the core message from Fede Nolasco in this ACI report?
The big idea is this shift in focus towards what they're calling artificial capable intelligence, ACI.
DCI.
Okay. Yeah, think of it as like the middle ground. It's not narrow AI, which just does one thing really well.
Right, like image recognition or something.
Exactly. And it's also not, the super futuristic artificial general intelligence or AGI
Mhm.
that can supposedly do anything a human can. ACI is about the now. What can AI systems actually do capably, autonomously, to achieve specific goals in the near term?
Got it. So less sci-fi speculation, more practical application. Let's dig into that executive summary. What are the key takeaways there?
Okay, so the summary points to a few really crucial global trends for ACI in 2025. First big one. Businesses, enterprises, they're done just experimenting. Now they're demanding real measurable results, ROI. That's driving adoption of AI solutions that aren't just fancy, but actually, reliable and deliver value.
That makes total sense. The pilot projects are over, time to show the money, basically. Is the report specific about what kind of ROI they mean?
It doesn't give hard numbers, but it emphasizes things like clear gains in efficiency, actual cost savings, maybe new revenue streams, stuff you can point to that's directly because of the AI.
Okay.
And this pressure for ROI, it's really fueling the second big trend, the rise of autonomous AI agents.
AI agents. Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds maybe a step beyond just a chatbot. What are these agents doing?
Yeah, definitely more sophisticated. Think of them like digital coordinators. They can manage whole business workflows, often with very little human hand-holding.
Like what kind of workflow?
Well, maybe like onboarding a new supplier, verifying details, setting up accounts, sending out initial orders. An agent could potentially orchestrate that whole chain of tasks. It's about automating complexity.
Okay, I see. So the AI is managing the process, not just assisting a human in the process. What's another key trend?
The increasing use of multimodal AI. This is pretty cool. It's AI that can handle different kinds of data together. Text, images, audio, video, you name it.
Ah, right. So it's not just reading text. It can look at a picture and read the description.
Exactly. Like maybe processing an insurance claim by analyzing the written report and the photos of the damage all at once. It gives the AI a much richer picture.
Yeah, more context. That makes sense. What else is big for 2025, according to the report?
Hyper-specialization. This one's really interesting. Instead of one giant AI model trying to do everything,
Which we hear a lot about.
right, we're seeing more and more AI models built for very specific industries or even super specific tasks within an industry, like an AI that only does medical image analysis for a certain condition or one just for financial fraud detection in, say, credit card transactions.
Okay, so deep expertise, like a specialist doctor versus a GP, leads to better performance for that specific job.
Precisely. Better accuracy, better efficiency for that niche.
Are there underlying things making all this ACI stuff possible? The report must mention some foundations.
Oh, absolutely. Three key pillars they highlight. Number one, no surprise. High quality data. Garbage in, garbage out still applies, maybe even more so. Number two, seamless integration. These AI tools have to actually work with the systems companies already have. Can't just be a standalone gadget.
Yeah, plug and play is crucial.
And number three, which is getting more and more attention, responsible AI practices. Things like, fairness, privacy, security, transparency. Building trust is essential.
Good data, plays well with others, and is ethical.
Got it. Seems fundamental.
Yeah.
Now, who does Fede Nolasco point to as the main players making this ACI happen?
The report calls out several big names. Microsoft AI is definitely up there, especially now with Mustafa Suleyman leading. Their Copilot stuff fits this ACI mold. Perfectly practical tools for businesses.
Right. Suleyman came over from Inflection, didn't he?
He did, yeah. And Microsoft talks about this off-frontier approach. It sounds like focusing on what's actually usable and valuable today, not just the theoretical edge.
Off-frontier, interesting term. Less hype, more help. Who else is on the list?
Cohere. They're really focused on large language models for businesses, specifically for things like RAG, that's Retrieval-Augmented Generation. We should probably unpack RAGgy a bit later.
Definitely. And also for, like, plugging AI into existing business tools.
Yeah.
Then there's Mistral AI.
The European company. Been hearing a lot about them.
Yeah, making waves with efficient, flexible models. They offer both open source and commercial options, which is pretty interesting.
Gives people choices. Any examples of that hyper-specialization?
Yes, Rossum is a perfect one. They have a transactional LLM, basically an AI laser-focused on understanding and processing business documents like invoices, purchase orders, automating that kind of stuff.
Okay, very specific.
Then there's Inflection AI, post-pivot now, also aiming at enterprise tools. And Anthropic, with their Claude Assistant, they're really hammering the safety and ethics angle alongside capability.
Claude, right, safety-focused.
And you can't forget the big enterprise software players, SAP is mentioned, embedding AI directly into their core ERP systems, bringing AI into the workflows people already use.
Wow, okay, so it's a real mix. Big tech-focused startups, European players, safety-conscious labs, all pushing this practical ACI forward. What about the tech underneath, the architectural patterns?
Two main ones stand out in the report. We mentioned ARG, Retrieval-Augmented Generation. That's huge for making AI answers more reliable, pulling in real-time external data.
Right, so it's not just making stuff up based on old training data.
Exactly. It grounds the AI. The other big pattern is agentic frameworks. These are sort of the scaffolding that lets AI plan, use tools, and carry out those complex multi-step tasks we talked about earlier. Enables that autonomy.
Okay, ARG for reliable info, agentic frameworks for getting things done. What technologies actually power these?
Well, specialized LLMs, obviously, but also things like vector databases. These are crucial for that fast information retrieval needed by RAG. Knowledge graphs are important too, helping AI understand relationships and data.
Vector databases, knowledge graphs. Getting technical now.
A little, yeah. Plus the multimodal processing we mentioned. And it all needs solid data infrastructure, tied together with APIs and orchestration platforms to make it all work smoothly. It's quite the stack.
It really sounds like an ecosystem. So let's bring it back to the listeners. What does this all mean strategically for, say, 2025, for people and for businesses?
For individuals, the report suggests, real boosts in productivity. Think AI assistants that are actually helpful, better tools for making decisions because the AI can crunch more data.
Okay, tangible benefits. And for businesses.
Big implications. Things like serious efficiency gains from automation, potential cost savings, maybe even creating entirely new services or products using AI. And frankly, staying competitive. If your rivals are using ACI effectively, you probably need to be too.
So a potential game changer, but it sounds like you need a plan. It's not automatic.
Absolutely not. The report really stresses that success requires focusing on tangible business value. Don't just do AI for AI's sake. Have a clear strategy. Make sure your organization is ready for the changes, and crucially, be responsible about how you develop and deploy it.
Okay, so that sets the stage really well. Our mission for the rest of this deep dive then is to unpack the key insights from this new May 2025 ACI report by Fed and Alasko. We want to help you whether you're leading strategy, investing, or just trying to understand where AI is actually going now to really grasp this idea of artificial capable intelligence. Let's jump into that first part, defining ACI.
Right. And what's really key, as the report lays out, is defining ACI by capability, by what it can do, not just how it processes information. It's about achieving goals.
Yeah, Fed in Alaska really leans on Mustafa Suleyman's perspective here. It anchors ACI and getting stuff done in the real world.
Exactly. It's a very pragmatic viewpoint. Suleyman talks about building AI that's goal-oriented, that can handle complex tasks with a degree of autonomy.
And this isn't AGI, not yet anyway. It's positioned as the next logical, achievable step, much closer than true general intelligence.
That's the core message. Let's focus resources on building useful, accountable AI systems that can make a difference soon.
So it's goal-oriented, practical, but still a step up from narrow AI.
Oh, definitely. An ACI system might be incredibly good at, say, managing a complex logistics network, something far beyond a single narrow AI task. But it's still focused on logistics. It's not suddenly going to start writing poetry,
Right. Its capability is deep, but within a defined scope. And the report really emphasizes the near-term nature of this. We're talking systems impacting us in the next few years.
Which puts the focus squarely on things like reliability, scalability, integration. The engineering challenges of deployment, really.
And importantly, the report draws a clear line. This isn't about consciousness or superintelligence in the way people sometimes imagine AGI.
No, that's a crucial distinction Fadina Lasco makes. ACI is about capability, not sentience. Even achieving AGI down the line doesn't automatically mean uncontrollable superintelligence. That's a separate discussion.
To make this practical nature really clear, the report discusses Suleyman's idea for a modern Turing test. How's that different from the original?
It's completely different, actually. Forget the chatbot imitation game. Suleyman's test is give an AI agent, say, $100,000,
Okay.
and see if it can autonomously turn that into $1 million by setting up and running an online retail business over several months.
Wow. That's quite a test. Very real world.
Isn't it? Think about the skills needed. A market analysis, strategy, sourcing, marketing, sales, logistics, finance, all managed autonomously.
Yeah, that shifts the benchmark entirely from mimicking conversation to demonstrating tangible, complex achievement.
It really captures that essence of capable intelligence. Now, moving on, the second section of the report dives into those key global trends for 2025. First one again, that enterprise demand for ROI.
Right, the shift from what can AI do to what can AI do for my bottom line?
Precisely. And that's pushing development towards practical applications in finance, healthcare, retail, manufacturing. Places where ACI can deliver measurable value, solve real problems.
And a major way that's happening is through those AI agents we mentioned, more than just chatbots.
Much more. The report describes them as systems that can understand high-level goals, break them down into plans, use different tools or data sources, and execute complex sequences of actions on their own. ACI applied within a business process.
And they're being built into enterprise software now, automating things like HR processes or even parts of software development.
Yes, exactly. We're even starting to see agentic frameworks where multiple specialized agents might collaborate on even bigger cross-functional tasks. The potential for efficiency gains is huge.
Okay. Then the third trend, multimodal AI, processing text, images, audio.
Yeah, the power there is getting a much fuller understanding. Think about analyzing a video conference, not just the transcript, but maybe the tone of voice, facial expressions. It allows for richer insights, more context. For you as a customer, it might mean faster support because the AI understands your issue better from multiple angles.
Okay, so bringing different data streams together for a more complete picture. And the fourth trend.
Hyper-specialization again. Moving away from one-size-fits-all AI towards models fine-tuned for specific industries or tasks.
Like the medical imaging example.
Exactly. Or AI specifically trained on legal documents for contract review, or optimized for chemical formula discovery. These specialized models can often outperform general models significantly on their target tasks.
Makes sense. You trade breadth for depth and accuracy in a specific area.
Right. And underpinning all these trends are those three pillars.
The foundations: quality data, seamless integration, and responsible AI.
Absolutely critical. The report makes it clear these aren't optional extras. Bad data means bad AI outcomes. Poor integration creates silos and frustration. And irresponsible AI damages trust and can have serious negative consequences. They're non-negotiable for sustainable ACI.
Okay, let's talk about the companies again. Section 3 profiles the key players, Microsoft AI and their off-frontier Copilot strategy.
Yeah, focused on practical, scalable deployment through their existing ecosystem, getting useful AI into users' hands now.
Then Cohere, focusing squarely on enterprise needs, raw tool integration.
Very business-centric. Production-ready AI for specific corporate functions.
Mistral AI, the efficient, configurable, open commercial models out of Europe.
They're offering flexibility, making powerful AI maybe more accessible or customizable for different organizations.
And Rossum as the hyper-specialization example, the transactional LLM for documents.
Perfect illustration. Laser focused on automating a complex but common business process with high accuracy.
Inflection AI, post-pivot, also targeting enterprise tools now.
Right, shifting towards practical business applications, maybe even offering on-premise options, which some companies need.
Anthropic capability balanced with safety. Their helpful, harmless, honest mantra for Claude.
A strong focus on building trustworthy AI from the ground up.
And SAP embedding AI, like their Joule Copilot, right into the core business systems people use every day.
Bringing AI enhancement directly into established workflows. It's a really diverse landscape, isn't it?
Yeah.
Different angles, different strengths, all pushing towards more capable AI.
It really is. So Section 4 gets into the tech patterns enabling this. RAG, was the first one.
Retrieval-Augmented Generation, yeah. Allowing LLMs to fetch and use up-to-date external information so their answers aren't just based on potentially outdated training data, boosts accuracy and relevance enormously.
Stops them from hallucinating facts, hopefully.
That's the goal, grounding them in reality. The second pattern was agentic
The
frameworks.
scaffolding for autonomous action. Planning, executing, using tools.
Exactly. That's what lets an AI take a complex request and actually figure out the steps needed to fulfill it, interacting with other software or data sources as needed. It's the doing part of ACI.
And these rely on tech like specialized LLMs, vector databases.
Yep, vector databases for that fast similarity search needed for RAG. Knowledge graphs to understand relationships. Multimodal processing.
Huh?
Robust data pipelines. APIs to connect everything. It's a complex interplay.
Definitely sounds like it. Okay, the final section, Section 5, strategic implications. What does this ACI shift mean going forward?
For individuals like you listening, expect more capable AI tools helping with productivity, maybe aiding decision-making by surfacing relevant info. For businesses, it's potentially transformative. Efficiency, cost savings, new revenue opportunities, and that competitive edge.
And the report mentions specific industries being changed.
Oh yeah, healthcare diagnostics, financial modeling and fraud detection, personalized retail experiences, optimizing manufacturing processes, the impact is spreading across the board.
So, for businesses and investors trying to make sense of this, what's the strategic advice from the report?
For businesses,
Yeah.
align AI with clear goals, get your data house in order, plan for integration, implement thoughtfully, manage the human side of change. For investors, look for growth in the enabling tech stack, assess companies on practical value and traction, check out the team, understand the ecosystem.
So, lots of opportunity, but it requires careful thought and planning, not just jumping on a bandwagon.
Definitely not. And looking ahead, the report touches on ACI evolving further more advanced models, smarter agents, but also the challenges, including what Suleyman calls the containment challenge, ensuring these powerful systems remain aligned with human intent.
Right, the safety and control aspect becomes even more critical as capabilities increase.
Absolutely. We'll likely see more capable models, more sophisticated agents tackling bigger tasks, deeper integration. But managing it responsibly is key.
Okay, this has been a fantastic deep dive into Fen Nolasco's ACI 2025 report. To quickly recap, ACI is that practical middle ground, focusing on near-term, goal-oriented AI capabilities. Mustafa Suleyman's vision and his modern Turing test really drive home this focus on real-world achievement.
We covered the key 2025 trends. Enterprise ROI demands, the rise of autonomous agents, multimodal AI's growth, hyper-specialization, and those crucial pillars of data, integration, and responsibility. We saw players like Microsoft, Cohere, Mistral, Rossum, Inflection, Anthropic, and SAP all pushing this forward.
And the tech patterns like RAG and agentic frameworks powered by things like vector databases and knowledge graphs are making it happen. The bottom line is ACI is already starting to deliver real user benefits and business value, but strategic adoption is key.
Yeah, this shift toward actually doing things with AI, not just experimenting or talking about future possibilities, feels like a really significant moment.
It really does. And that leads us to a final thought for you to chew on. As AI demonstrates more and more of these practical capabilities, these doing abilities, how is that going to change how we think about work, about innovation, maybe even about what humans are uniquely capable of? This new era of applied, capable AI, it raises some pretty profound questions for all of us. Thanks for taking the deep dive with us.